Let's check in with the eNCA Money Desk. Rupio Madzena is back. So Sun International's casino operations are bringing in money as South Africans gamble more. My mum contributes a lot, Rupio, by the way.
Well, Sun International should be thankful to your mum and many other South Africans that are enjoying some time at the casinos. So South Africans are spending more time at casinos, and it shows in Sun International's full year results. Now, while the casino income is still below 2019 levels, profits did improve. Revenue increased by 22% thanks to the easing of lockdown restrictions. Total resorts and hotel operations have also come up in the year. Its headline earnings more than doubled in the reporting period as the group implemented some cost-saving strategies. And we've got the Chief Executive, Anthony Leeming, who's standing by to talk us through Sun International's full year results. Thank you very much for your time this evening. And perhaps we start with that positive performance you saw in the casino business. But what were some of the other revenue bringers in this period, Anthony?
Good evening. Yes, I think, look, it was definitely a positive period and last rebound after 2020. We still were at significant restrictions. We were closed in July. So still a tough trading environment, but one can clearly see the growth coming through on 2020. And I think if you look at January and February, we actually are, our gaming incomes at 2019 levels, which is very encouraging looking forward. Our SunBet business, our online gaming business, really grew quite strongly. And we are looking to put more effort in that space and try and grow our share of the market, and certainly we'll put more emphasis on that going forward. The casinos and the LPM business, limited power machine, actually performed exceptionally well, and we continue to look for those growth. I think from the hospitality side, the disappointment really was around the midweek business, which is your meetings, conferencing business. That really was very quiet in 2021, and we're starting to see a pickup in that as well, so very encouraging.
You've also benefited from those cost-saving strategies that you've implemented as a business. I mean, just talk about the significance that these have made to the balance sheet that we have been exposed to in the period.
Yeah, look, I think we spent a long time during COVID strengthening the balance sheet. We had the rights issue in 2020. We sold the LATAM properties, and then cash flow from operations have been good. So we've actually managed to reduce debt, and debt now sitting at pretty comfortable levels in gross terms, especially South African debt, at about 6.4 billion. So we look at that and look at where the EBITDA projection is going. I think by the end of this year, we'll be on a very comfortable debt to EBITDA ratio, and certainly dividend payments are around the corner to be resumed. So I think balance sheet's looking strong, covers are looking very good.
Now, absolutely some positive news for shareholders there when it comes to the dividends. Anthony, are there any concerns still around the pandemic? We are seeing vaccinations across the country slowing down, and so government trying to ramp that up. And also, we're still in the national state of disaster. We do know that the National Coronavirus Command Council is meeting around that state of disaster, which is supposed to be ending tomorrow. But the uncertainty around the way in which we are dealing with the current pandemic as it is, does that concern you at all in terms of the outlook for the industry?
Well, look, we're not going to recover to full trading levels until all restrictions are lifted. But the curfew was the biggest impact on us, and that can clearly be seen by the rebound. I mean, the whole of 2021, the best we did compared to 2019 from casino level was about 81% in October of 2019 levels. Yet January and February, we've actually come in line with 2019. So the curfew was definitely the biggest impact. The restricted capacity hasn't been a major problem, but still is a restriction on the business. So yes, we'd hope that these restrictions are lifted, and any further increase in COVID cases going forward, a fifth wave, would be of concern. But again, I don't think the reaction will be quite as severe in moving towards lockdowns, and we believe we can cope with it quite easily. So not what we want, but certainly we're in a very strong position to be able to deal with further restrictions.
Anthony, are you watching the developments around the geopolitical events in Europe between Russia and the Ukraine? Are there any concerns with that having any kind of impact at all, or the overall outlook in terms of input costs because of the increasing fuel prices? What exactly are you watching as you watch those developments unfold?
Yeah, it's certainly hard not to see it and watch it. But, it's very concerning, obviously, from a bigger economy perspective. I think the direct impacts we don't see massive. When you look at it, we've got a very small market coming out of Russia. Our markets are primarily US, UK-based, Germany. But the contagion effects and the economic impact of the crisis, rising fuel prices, certainly will impact consumers, and that's a concern, I think, in the bigger picture. I mean, a greater concern as well is the state of the South African economy and infrastructure, ESCOM. There's a lot of concerns, but even with that, I think, we are on a good path. So, yes, global political events are very concerning.
No, absolutely. And then just a final thought from you, Anthony, your outlook for the business. You did mention that there are some exciting projects that Sun International is chasing, but also just the operating environment that we're currently in. Are you confident in it and that it's got the potential to actually show some really good green shoots?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've certainly seen quite a big recovery in early parts of this year. Real uptick, and I think local leisure has carried the business through for a long period on the hospitality side. Certainly, foreigners coming back, they were definitely going to be quite a good season for Jan-Feb. Clearly not quite where we would have been, but Omicron hit hard. So we do expect quite a nice rebound in the sort of summer season for the overseas, so around about August, September, when they're going through winter season, they tend to travel a lot, and we do see quite a nice recovery. Obviously, the meetings and conferencing, that's quite an important sector for a place like Sun City, and particularly midweek. And we're also seeing a nice rebound there. So optimistically, I think even with where the economy is, even with restrictions, we are bouncing back. As you mentioned, the cost savings are helping significantly, and therefore cash flow is looking very good. So debt no longer a real issue for the business, and very, very positive outlook.
Thank you very much to Sun International Chief Executive Anthony Leeming joining us to break down the numbers that they put out today.